My name is Aaron Wright Walker.
Oh, my name is Michael.
My name is Wendy.
My name's Jamie.
My name is India.
My name is Shahid.
And I'm Autumn, and I will be talking about two different worlds amongst words. Books have been with us since the beginning of time. They were our silent friends that comforted us when we were lonely, loyal to the end of the very last chapter. So when did we decide to betray that loyalty? When we traded our bound covers for a screen. Today, we're making a movement against the online revolution. We're going to explore just why hardback books are better than e-readers. First off, looking at an emotional point of view, we mentally do not connect to on-screen texts, according to a Guardian study done in 2012. In this experiment, they gave half of the participants a printed copy, while the other half received a digital copy of the same story. The digital books left readers feeling disconnected and unimmersed in the story, leaving them emotionally unattached, while hard copy readers, on the other hand, felt more alongside the characters in the story and were capable of placing the story's events in chronological order. USA Today also did an experiment in 2013 relating to the effectiveness of ebooks, and their findings were quite interesting. They found that readers retain less of the information in the book, and they blame this on what they call flash gimmicks, or promotions embedded in the ebooks. Through the same study, they found that being able to turn to a page of a book together enhances discussions in book groups. Naomi S. Barron of the Huffington Post wrote about her latest study against ebooks, proving that it's harder to avoid multitasking while reading from a digital book. She states that when reading for work or pleasure, the majority of students found it easiest to concentrate when reading in print. Multitasking was reported almost 3 times as much when reading on screen and when reading in a hard copy. According to the Digital Book World and literacy nonprofit Sesame Workshop, majority of families chose to read physical books together than ebooks. Less than 10% of parents and children chose ebooks. That means 90% chose hardcover because it offers valuable family time, and fancy features such as videos and interactive games are more of a distraction than a valued tool. Now, onto a more personal comparison. What is the one major problem that we have or would have with an ebook? How about the charge? Books can't die, whereas ebooks, on the other hand, are bound to shut down just at the juiciest part of the story. But that's just our luck, right? With books, you never have to worry about the burden of a dead battery. Pages may get torn or crinkled, but a book will never ever cut you off in the middle of a good story. And imagine how different it must feel to finish a long book on a Kindle versus a real physical hold it in your hand book. BuzzFeed.com explains the difference by example. It compares the different experiences in detail, comparing closing the back of a 1,000-page hardcover book like Game of Thrones to flicking your finger across the screen and clicking a button. Personally, I like to see the progress as I go through the journey and prepare myself for the end of the book rather than suddenly hitting a wall at the end of the last chapter and not knowing what to do from that point. And for all of you out there who have a favorite author, consider this. You can't get an ebook signed. An autographed book makes the coolest gifts or even the coolest memories. Just think, whenever you pick that book back up, you'll see that signature and instantly be reminded of the time when you met the only person who could have possibly put that world together. You've just personally met the parent of your favorite character, and their signature is right on the front of that book in your hand. Unless you're going to let them sign your Kindle, which they didn't actually make and is loads less special, I don't think you e-readers are going to be going to any book signings anytime soon. Apart from the technical and emotional sides, how about aesthetics? Who can deny the lure of an antique first edition classic? There will never ever be a first edition of an ebook. That's just one luxury that these expensive machines simply can't afford. There is and only ever will be one edition of your favorite book on a Kindle or Nook, simple as that. But for print readers, there's nothing more wonderful than finding an original classic to add to your bookshelf. Buying a new book on an e-reader versus buying an antique original is just not even comparable. Not to mention how beautiful a bookshelf can actually be. Each binding holds a different story. You can't exactly fill a shelf with e-readers. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be nearly as appealing. It's much more rewarding to search through a bookshelf full of titles and find that perfect book than scroll through a list and click a button. Though e-readers may be easier to carry around and simpler to store, there's no comparison when an e-book tries to compare itself to a real hard copy. I encourage you, my audience, to stop wasting your money buying expensive e-readers that don't reap the benefits of a real book and go back to the classics. Fight back against the online revolution. So which will you choose, the magic or the machine?